Hey, what's up, my little TisaTellss? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Kourtney Kardashian and Kris Jenner, baby, the war has just started, and neither y'all are playing fair. Y'all, what am I talking about? As you know, it looks like from the outside looking in, Kourtney has gone to war with her family. But like any true Aries queen, Kourtney's sitting there saying, I ain't do anything. They started it, but GD, I'm gonna finish it, y'all. There have been articles, swipes, so many things traded. Kourtney literally did a 1-2 knockout punch and took Kardashian off of the back of her professional name. As you know, people said the Kardashians freaked out saying, no, that's not fair, because even though you're not using the Kardashian name, you still benefited from all our hard work. Kim's in the background being like, yeah, especially when I was on my back. All the hard work. And now you're going to sit there and pass it on to the Barker? Kourtney looked at them and said, baby, one, I've been done. 2, you guys didn't even really support me in my marriage. 3, you're not happy for me. You guys give more praise to Tristan Cheatin' Thompson literally making a fool out of Coco for the 18th time than you will to Travis, a guy that everyone said is super nice, super sweet, a great father, and a loving husband to me. I'm sick of this dysfunction. If you don't go sit somewhere with your little Silk the Shocker boyfriend, yeah, Corey, I'm talking about you. And Corey Gamble in the background being like, Matt, Mrs. Kris, why she talk about me like that? Mrs. Kris. Y'all, listen, let's get into this, because the latest one, though, we knew Kris was not going to take that lying down. First, they tried to disparage Kourtney. There were Kardashian-friendly sites for talking about odd rumors about how Kourtney's youngest son might not be Scott's. Of course that baby is Scott. Y'all, stop it with the nonsense. Talking about he looked like Justin Bieber. He looks like any 9-year-old Caucasian child. Well, y'all stop playing. Anyway, Kris seems like she might be on one. And you know this is Kourtney's soft spot, and we're waiting for Kourtney's clapback. But listen to this. They're saying Scott will return to the Kardashians for season 3. He signed on a huge contract. But get this, he's refusing to play the villain in Kourtney's storyline with her new husband, Travis Barker. You guys, let me repeat that. He is refusing to play the villain in Kourtney's storyline with her husband, Travis Barker. First of all, why is Scott even in Kourtney's storyline with husband Travis Barker? This lets you know that Kris is desperate for ratings. She's 100% going back to her roots, because as you know, the mess with the Kardashians, the first 2 seasons have been boring, have been dull. I think they were on Instagram too much. And they literally start to think, oh no, people just like when we take pretty pictures. That's why people like us, because we're so beautiful. No, people liked you guys because you guys were a weird, grossly inappropriate, dysfunctional family that was train wrecks to watch. That's why people were actually into the show. The fact that they started believing their own hype, y'all, I don't know what to do. But let's get into this. They are going to come for Kourtney by making her relationship with Travis a central storyline. And Scott saying that he's refusing to play the villain. Now, here's the thing, right? A lot of people might have thought that Scott was saying that he's not going to take part in destroying Kourtney. However, I will say this, and everybody forgets to think about this. Scott regularly looks at Kourtney as the one that got away. And she did get away. She waited, she cried, she begged. Finally, a man said, I'll do it. And she moved on. She was the one that got away, but oddly enough, I think that if she had stuck around, I still don't think that Scott would have given her what she wanted, which was love, patience, stability, healthiness. Do you see what I'm saying? And also, I think that Kourtney was going through an evolution where she was sick of her family. She was sick of the position. She was sick of the dynamics. She was sick of the toxic groupthink. And Scott kind of shot his own self in the foot, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, Scott, you are a part of that whole system that Kourtney thought was eating her alive. You know, even when she tried to cut you off, you were chilling with her sisters just fine. Anyway, they're saying that Scott will return. Even though that I do not think that Scott necessarily wants to hurt Kourtney, I 100% believe that he wants to break her and Travis up. And he will do anything he needs to break her up. And I don't even think that she'll feel guilty about it, because I think at the end of the day, Scott will be like, no, it's fine. Don't cry, Kourtney. You have me. To which Kourtney will probably break down and cry even more. Anyway, they're saying Scott will return in season 3. Huge contract. They're saying that he'll be featured in several episodes of the upcoming season, but it's made clear to producers that he cannot be portrayed as the villain in the storyline. Again, you guys bought Scott back to make Kourtney an issue whether or not she wants it. Talking about the kids, talking about co-parenting. Now, on one hand, you can't argue Kourtney signed up for this, but on the other hand, to me, it does seem like the Kardashians are trying to break her relationship up. Those are two different things. They're saying Scott filmed the show last week after inking a huge contract. He was initially against coming back because he didn't want to be the villain in Kourtney and Travis's storyline. Ask yourself this, Scott. Why would they be able to make you the villain? What have you been doing? What have you been up to? Why would it even be a concern in your mind that you would be the villain in the storyline? Again, Scott's grief over Kourtney getting married to Travis was a prominent part of season 1. They tried to make it a prominent part. Kourtney wouldn't let it have air. Something that prompted Scott to take a major step back from the following season, which he was only featured in 1 episode. The funny thing is, Kourtney didn't even drag Scott. I think what happened was, they didn't think that Kourtney and Travis were that serious. Scott thought that if he stuck around, he could probably move Travis out the way. I think everybody was shocked with the engagement and them getting married. And that's why he took a major step back. Not because of the way he was portrayed. Let's see. Get this. They're saying Scott made the decision to return for the sake of his followers. Who in Let the Lord Be With You Instagram account was begging for this to happen? He felt that he owed it to his fans and knew that they wanted to see him back on the show again, at least for 1 more season. They're saying Scott's in a very good place right now, and he's a devoted father to his children with Kourtney. Scott, literally, there were rumors a few months ago about him having to go to rehab again. Are you serious? I'll say one thing. The Kardashians will use up whoever they can, but Scott is a grown man. At the end of the day, I think he wants Kourtney back so much, he's willing to sacrifice everything. Let's see. What else is going on with this? Again, Scott doesn't let this mess go. This cannot end well, but I'll tell you one thing. Kourtney thought, Kris Jenner's looking at Kourtney like, girl, you thought I was going to go down that easy? They're doing what they can, not just to break Kourtney and Travis up, I believe, but also to smack Kourtney's hands. Let's not forget, the Kardashians have a brand. If anybody proves that they can be successful without the brand, watch how many people go find other managers, other business people, other employees that are not associated with the nest of Kris and Kim to actually go out and make some money. Because at the end of the day, we talk trash all the time, but you know how it is working with your family. You know how it is even with business arrangements. Maybe I can get a better deal. Maybe somebody will do a better job. But everybody stays because they're like, oh, but if I leave the family, like I'm leaving behind the brand. If Kourtney proves that she can leave the family, not being associated, and use that to even get any bigger, it will be disastrous. Again, I think this is all money. I think this is internal politics. I think they're jealous of what Scott and Kourtney have. But at the end of the day, I think Kris Jenner, and most likely Kim, realizes that if everybody starts leaving the nest, what will they have? Because at the end of the day, Kim has tried. Kim's tried 1,000,000 times to leave the Kardashian nest. She cannot outrun her reality TV roots. No matter how much money she gets, her fame is always sourced from there and will continue to flow. Think about it. Kylie doesn't need that show. Kendall doesn't need that show. The only people that need that show are Kris, Khloe, and of course, Kim. And they're going to do everything they can to make sure that Kourtney, Kylie, and Kendall remember that they can't do anything without them. Y'all, listen, let me know what you think in this 1-2 punch. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. The fact that Kris Jenner is bringing Scott back, you know Kourtney is not happy about this, and he's going to have a prominent role. You know what, this is the last thing I'll say. It's funny how when Kourtney was getting married and there was all these beautiful things going on, they didn't even talk about the marriage. It got like a blip. Seriously. And all it was a photo op for them to be standing around in Dolce & Gabbana. But now that Scott is coming and they actually might do some damage, it's going to be prominently... Yeah, they ain't seeing heaven. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.